Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And this is going to be a short one. I believe it should be about 11 minutes, and in today's video I'll be showing you this drawing I've done a while back of Jinx and Vi from League of Legends. Or some of you might know them from Arcane, because they're in that show too. The clothes they'll be wearing, I took them from the game skins, the character skins, not from the Arcane show. And since they are sort of realistically more proportioned, they don't look all that cartoonish. Maybe a little bit. But anyway, so I've decided to have those gloves that belong to Vi to not be too enormous. And this is a lot of intricate line work. Almost borderline torturous, because I know in the end, after I finish drawing all these lines, I'm gonna have to color them. But one good thing about it is it's for sure gonna work out well. You know, drawing outlines with color underneath, it never looks bad. It's very hard to make it look bad, so I just persevered because I know I won't, it just takes a long time, but it won't end up looking bad. So yeah, just moving on to that one glove of Vi's, and I sort of am aiming for this drawing to look very actiony. So I didn't want them to just look like they're standing still, to look like they are doing a fighting pose, but I wanted it to look like they are in motion. Oh, and about Jinx's gun, I got this from Riot's, I believe League of Legends' Twitter or Riot Games' Twitter, because I couldn't really find any good reference pictures of Jinx's gun. Even in illustrations, I never see the whole gun. That's just hard to find. Or they might be in full view, but they are in this weird perspective, so you can't really see all of the gun, only parts of it. So yeah, I traced it, but I didn't trace it completely. I changed it up, and the original gun for me was too short and too stubby, so I lengthened it, and I did a little distortion, so the front of the gun looked bigger than the back. And now I'm doing line art for Jinx's body. And even just for the line art alone, my layer management at this point has already become very, very messy. It's all over the place. I think at one point I merged lots of it together into single layers. So now moving on to color. And well, these colors don't make any sense, right? It's just gray and red and white. These are not the colors the clothes these two are actually wearing, but easy enough to change it later. Moving on to color. And this is quite a big piece. Lots of intricate parts. 2 full body shots of 2 characters with clothes, with equipment, weapons, and lots of it are getting clipped off. So I pretty much lost track of where my linear dodge layers are, where to place my multiply layers as well. And at this point, I'm coloring everything on normal layers. And if you don't know what it means, it's just like I didn't change the blending mode of the layers much. In fact, at this point, if I wanted to have certain areas look light, I just used a light color. I didn't use a linear dodge layer to add like a glow. I'd only be doing that towards the end. And I would say it's a good thing to do if the drawing you're working on is complex like this one. So coloring everything on just normal layers, not even using any multiply layers, although you can do that towards the end when you know you're about to finish your drawing. So yeah, just carrying on with adding some normal layer dark shadows here and there on that one right glove of Vi's. It's taking a while because it's complicated. Like it's got lots of little parts. Doing the crystals. These shadows on that armor piece of hers, they're all done on normal layers as well. That armor plating, I wanted it to look like a slab of, like a boulder almost, not like a sheet of metal. She's got that knee wrap thing that old people wear. And if you haven't noticed, that one other leg of Vi is clipped off. I didn't even draw it because I'm planning on it to be completely covered up by dust and smoke, which I will draw towards the end. You'll be seeing that. And oh, the way I did the hair, I think I'll probably make another video on just how to draw hair like this. It's actually fairly simple. The hair consists of about 3 to 4 layers, and they're all normal layers. I didn't use any linear dodge. Here I'm with Jinx's face. Oh, and actually Jinx looks quite malnourished and skinny in Arcane, but I figured, hey, she's lugging around all those guns, and that one big gun of hers is super, super big, must be heavy, so I figured I'd just make her upper body quite big. Adding her tattoos. Making sure Jinx looks pale. Texturing the gun. In fact, texturing the gun and the armor and the hairs and those crystals on Vi's gloves, her gauntlets. Oh, and even the shoes are not all that different. You just gotta make sure it's got all of the mid-tone darks and add a little bit of glow here and there. Straps on that gun of hers. And over here I'm experimenting on how to color the background. Yeah, it's a bit much, but I'll end up just using like a solid brown green thing. And as you can see, the smoke is hand drawn. some glow to the right side of the drawing. Because for the background, I wanted to keep it looking just what it's supposed to be. It's just a background. Like, I didn't want you to really look at the background. I wanted you to just look at the figures fighting. So making sure to keep the background simple. And these braids of Jinx, I actually made a special brush just for these. Yeah, and then after I'm done with this drawing, I got rid of that brush because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use it anymore. I mean, I can just make a new one next time I need it. And I'm painting over a lot of the drawing here to give it a more painterly look. So lots of the lines are covered up with paint. Yeah, rendering the glove a bit more. And I figured, I think I'll also make tutorials on how to draw crystals and draw ice and glass, metallic surfaces in the future in another video. And that is pretty much it for this drawing. And some things I'd like to explain. As I've said, for the braids, Jinx's braids, those are made with brushes like a brush I made myself just to do those braids. Otherwise, they won't look that perfect. And that motion blur effect that I did on Vi's glove, and actually throughout the picture too, like here on Jinx's shoelace. No, let's see, where else? I think that's all. Oh, a little bit of Jinx's hair actually. I used like a motion blur effect with the motion blur tool on Procreate, and I erased some bits by hand, and I added some colorful streaks by hand as well to really make it look like it's speeding through the air. And you know how you see all that smoke effects if you go ahead and watch Arcane, the show, and like it's everywhere in the show. So, and it often comes out of Vi's glove, so I added a bit of smoke all over Vi as well. And those streaks on Jinx's gun barrel, that's drawn by hand. And that glow right there, I airbrushed it. And I did a lot of hand-drawn textures on the metallic surface of Jinx's Gatling gun. Yeah. So as you can see, the other foot of Vi is all covered up, so it doesn't matter that I didn't draw it. And okay, here's the whole thing. Hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching.